Hello everybody, my name is Nathan, also known as Slayer Soul here online, and today I am talking about all of the characters in Genshin Impact that I regret pulling. There are tons of different characters in Genshin Impact to choose from. I have almost every single one of them besides 9. And so I've been able to experience many different play styles that you can have in this game with the different elements and all the different types of characters. And so if you personally enjoy any of these characters that I'm about to talk about, that is absolutely me not throwing any shade or any tea at you whatsoever. Enjoy whatever you enjoy, and don't let some other random person on the internet tell you that you shouldn't be enjoying what you enjoy. These are just my own personal biases and opinions, so take it for what you will. Let's get into it. Welcome to Yoimiya, the very first character that I genuinely regret pulling. She's one of those characters that a lot of content creators were saying at the time, oh yeah, she's so good, you can play her with just Rust, I have an R5 on her, her talents aren't very good, her artifacts aren't very good. But her playstyle is mainly you hit her skill, you continuously just hit the attack button, and she does things. You typically run her with Zhongli for shielding because her interruption is a pain in the ass to deal with. And her power level, to me, is just not worth pulling nowadays. If you can get yourself an Arlecchino, or like a weird Diluc team, or any of these crazy pyro characters they've been coming out with recently, you don't need this character, but if you do like her, props to you. Klee, oh little baby Klee. I pulled her on purpose, not to like the advice of absolutely anyone. I decided, you know what, everyone says Klee is clunky, that she's hard to play, that she's squishy, but honestly, for an old-ass unit, her damage potential is pretty damn good, even in just like regular vaporized teams. The jump cancel and sprint canceling with her animations can be a bit hard to figure out. I do regret pulling her, but I recommend Klee over Yoimiya. Yeah, Klee over Yoimiya. But to me, she's so much more fun to play, and if you want to learn that type of shit and put a good build on her, she can definitely suffice for you. Kokomi, aka Cocomelon as I like to call her. A character that once again was recommended to me by content creators that I was watching at the time, and since I was newer to Genshin, I just said, alright, fuck it, I'm gonna pull her. She'll probably be helpful for freeze teams, which I still don't really play besides Risley. The baseline of Kokomi gameplay is you literally just put down the jellyfish, it puts out a circle of healing and hydro application around you. So if you want to play a version of Circle Impact that gives you a bit of hydro application and some healing, there you go, you got Kokomi. You want to heal your entire team and use her as an on-field driver? There you go, Kokomi. To this day, she's still one of my least used characters, and there are a lot better healers in Genshin, and if you want a cheap version of Kokomi, just use Barbara. Siegewein, one of the brand new 5 stars when I recorded this video. I still don't even, know what to do with her. She's super cute. I love her character, in the story and everything. Her color scheme's awesome. Even her burst animation is really pretty. I don't fully understand her kit with the Bond of Life and all of her other mechanics. Hell man, I barely even understand what team she would be good in. Probably Bloom, something to do with Nouvellette maybe? Her role, mainly healer, probably partial damage dealer with her burst, as long as you have a lot of energy recharge, but definitely a mild regret on her, because I don't really know what I'm doing. Next we got Nilou, one of the characters that I had benched on my account for the longest period of time. I had her on my account for over 2 years without ever building her at all, without playing her at all, because of how niche and restrictive her playstyle actually is. To get the most out of Nilou, you need to play only Dendro and Hydro characters. You can play her on-field and off-field. And for the longest time, I had absolutely no idea how her kit worked at all. Building Nilou is actually incredibly easy too, because all you have to do is just stack as much HP on her as you possibly can, and she'll just do damage due to how her kit and how her talents specifically work. Nowadays, I regret pulling her a lot less than I used to, but she's still one of those characters that is kind of just there on my account, and if I feel like playing her, I'll play her, but she's definitely not for everybody. The man, the myth, the legend, Cyno. I love this man so much, don't get me wrong, he's modeled after Anubis, and I absolutely love Egyptian culture and everything to do with that. The main issue that I have with Cyno is what is needed to level him up. The fucking scarabs. I can't find them anywhere, and using the interactive map to go all throughout the desert just to level him up is a giant pain in the ass. His teams are also a little bit hard to orient, but he's super fun to play with, and if it wasn't for the scarabs, I couldn't recommend him more for specific fun reasons. His burst runtime is pretty long, so you want to think about that when putting together a team. But if you're, unlike me, can get past the scarabs and actually build him and have fun with them, congratulations, I applaud you.
The almighty Raiden Shogun!
A lot of people are probably going to be like, yo, why the fuck is she on this list? And actually there's two reasons, and those are the specific ways that you have to build her for those two specific playstyles. You can either use Raiden as some people call a EM bot, where you use her skill and her burst on Hyper Bloom teams, or you can use her in a Hyper Carry team. The most famous team that she's in is called National or Rational. And it's still a really good team, and honestly, she's a really good character. It's just the whole artifact situation that drives me fucking insane. If Genshin ever actually added in the artifact swapping system like we actually wanted it instead of the confirmed configuration type of bullshit that they put in now, I would 100% not regret pulling her, but I only regret pulling her due to not knowing what the fuck to do with her, how to build her, which set is the best. I just want my characters to be easy to build. Why is that too much to ask? Scarabussy, aka Scaramouche, aka Scara.
Hey girly!
Here's the man that I made that little TikTok on before. I love his story, I love his gameplay, I love his character. You know what I don't love? Building him. Just like the whole Cyno situation, gathering his level up materials is a absolute pain in the ass. He uses these mushrooms found in the Sumera forest, and they're super annoying to find. His artifact domain is very niche, and if you're like me and don't end up pulling constellations because you're too focused on actually getting more characters and making a fun account for yourself to play on, he can and absolutely will get knocked out of mid-air all of the time if you're not using a shielder. Motherfucker just gets yeeted out of mid-air. His playstyle is fun and cool, and I really like the idea of him, but I really don't use him that much because it took me so long to get C6 Farazan, and him and Zhao both need those type of teams to be good. Funny how I mentioned Zhao, because here he is, the next one in line that I regret pulling. Little Pogo man himself. What's really sad about Zhao is that I was so excited to finally get him. I had Farina, Zhan Yun, finally C6 Farazan, and then I realized that he wasn't truly special anymore. I initially wanted him because he was the plunge man, he was the pogo stick boy, and now absolutely anybody can be pogo stick, boy or woman. Granted, I still think he's a cool character, and if you have all the other characters to make him work and you're willing to put in all of the effort to make him good, absolutely, go for it. But he's just, for me, one of the characters that's like, okay, I can do better damage with this other team that essentially uses the same characters. To be honest, I don't really know what I feel when it comes to Ayaka. She has sat in my character screen for 2 years now since I pulled her, completely unbuilt, with no good artifacts, no talents done, but she's sitting at level 80 because I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna level up all my characters, and eventually I'll actually build them properly. I don't know how I feel about her playstyle in general. The whole thing with her going underneath the ground, kind of like Mona, but she pops up. Regular attacks get infused with cryo is pretty cool. But with her, I feel like this huge aiming issue. Half the time, her burst absolutely does not hit properly. I tried to use her for the current Imaginarium Theater that's going on right now, and it was literal pain and torture. It sucked. It probably didn't help that I didn't have enough Hydra application, but that's besides the fact. So maybe one day I'll be able to build Ayaka and understand her and enjoy her, but that day is not today. For the ending of this video, here's a short section for some comic relief, because I have, in this footage, C2 Chi-Chi, but guess what? As of the voiceover right now, I have C3 Chi-Chi.
I pulled a Chi-Chi.
She gets what she
To be
deserves.
sealed back.
Osmanthus wine.